Welcome to Pour and Power, where bourbon meets business and no story is off limits. Every episode, we invite a kick-ass Kentucky woman to sit down and spill the tea, or in our case, the bourbon, on the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of being a business owner. Real stories, raw conversations. Think of it like therapy, only with more laughs and a double shot on the rocks. We'll talk about the struggles, the sleepless nights, and those what was I thinking moments. But don't worry, we're also here for the big wins, the breakthroughs, and the success stories that make it all worth it. She's pouring out her heart. We're pouring the bourbon, because sometimes you just need to sip, sit back, and laugh at how wild the ride really is. Pour and Power Podcast. Grab a glass and join us.
Hey everybody, we're back with Bourbon Boss Babes Pour and Power Podcast, and today I have the luxury of sitting down with Tracey in her beautiful home, and Tracey is going to take us on her life path, and she's going to talk to us about what has happened in her life, the obstacles that she's faced, how she has this wonderful best friend in her life. It's like her sister, and I just can't wait for her to share her story, because I think I'm more excited than probably you guys are. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you.
Thank you. I just know that when I came to your Halloween party a couple weeks ago, I was like, that girl is all about empowering women. She's about connecting with women and letting them and showing them that they can be their true self and don't hold back for no one. And I was like, I love those kind of souls. Oh. Like, it's just like when you meet that soul, you're like, I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing that and recognizing that, because it is so important, especially among women.
Yes.
And so we all carry the same dream in our heart as women, to feel free, to feel protected, to feel loved, provided for, and to be seen.
Yes.
To feel seen and to feel heard and to feel like we matter and our feelings matter, and especially from other women in our lives, beginning with our mothers, grandmothers on.
Yes, it's like a little ripple effect, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll let you start wherever you want.
Well, oh my goodness.
She says, where do I start?
Well, I have written a book. It's titled A Trail of Feathers. It's on it's on Amazon, and it is about my life story. And everyone's life is a story. Yes. We all have our story. We all have our book.
Yes. Yes.
And so I'm the only daughter of three brothers. And my brothers are quite successful. They've been on the PGA Tour. My dad and Arnold Palmer were best friends. So I grew up all around golf.
Love it.
My dad was in the coal business, and he retired when I was a little girl. And he gave us a life that you could only dream of. And I just feel so grateful for the life that he gave us. But as a girl, you're in that environment, and as a girl that loves to shine and loves shiny things and loves animals and loves feathers and loves things that are not of the norm. Sometimes it was like, oh, put it out. My family's very conservative, very country club. And there I was, I had my bling bling, let's go. Everything was a carnival or fun. And it was, okay, just put it, you can do that, but do it in your room. Don't. And so it was always suppressed. And, but I would always find my truth over here. Yeah. I always say, they put me in a box and I'll eat it. And then that's just how it is. So, and actually they did me a favor, because they showed me that I have the strength to shine and not to adjust, and just be true to myself.
Yes.
And what better gift to yourself is to be true to yourself.
Yes.
And you know how that is, Valerie. You have desires and things you love that maybe other people don't understand, and when you really feel that support as someone else, especially a sister, it just helps you bloom. It's like fertilizer for your soul.
It really is.
And
It is. And I love that for you, because you said you and Olga met 6 years ago.
Yes. So my best friend Olga, Olga is from Russia, from Siberia, and we met 6 years ago. She had actually a mohawk during that time.
Really?
Yeah, it was beautiful on her. And I was at the mall, and she was working at Macy's, and I just walked by, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I recognize myself," because she loved everything I loved, and there she was with her mohawk, just shining and roaring. This is who I am, and I own it. And I just went up to her and I said, "Oh my gosh," you know, we just started talking and this and that, and so one thing led to another, and we've just remained friends from that day. And I always say it was love at first sight.
Yes.
Because it really was.
Yeah. I love it.
And Olga has helped me. I've not ever had a friend, well, I mean, I've had great friends, but someone who just gives you the permission, because she stands in her truth and who she is.
Yeah.
And that gives you permission. Not that I ever felt I needed permission, because I was such a rebel anyway in my heart, because I just did what I wanted to anyway, or dressed how I chose, or said what I said. But it helps you feel safer.
Yes.
It helps you just like a fertilizer.
Yep.
It's like you're fertilizing your own. You fertilize each other's gardens.
Yes.
And like I shared with Olga, I said, "Olga, if you said you wanted whatever you wanted, a horn or green and purple hair," I'd say, "Okay, let's do it. Let's see how we're going to make it great." And she's the same with me. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you guys just have that bond, and you guys are there for each other, and you guys just, like you said, fertilize each other.
Yes.
So when you have that kind of bond, it's just like the opportunities are endless at this point. I feel like.
Yes.
So what do you and Olga have planned? Because I know you guys have big plans.
We do. We formed our. It just all happened. Like, it's called the Witches of Richmond, because it all happened around Halloween, and so we've named it WAR, WOR, and we're just about women empowering women. So it begins with us, and that's the foundation, and then women empowering women, and not playing the good girl, because as we know, there are women out there who do not empower women, and who actually want to see your shiny too bright for them, so they actually want your light out. And so we're taught, oh, let's be polite, let's be bigger than that, let's be better than that, and just go ahead, just ignore it. No. There's something about playing the good girl, and then you become either their victim, or you become not strong enough to set yourself free.
Yep.
So I always call it like, bring out your bad girl, but then I realized it's the good girl and bad girl, yes, but then you become, and when the wounded little girl inside heals, the woman will show up.
Yes.
So you have the good girl, bad girl, and then the woman shows up, and the woman is true to her. She is the true woman, and she has her own back. She knows who she is, and she lets that shine. And she also has claws and fangs to the women out there who are not supporting her. She can smell them, like she knows them. She can sense it, and life shows her who they are. That's the beauty. When you're really walking in your truth. Truth is you, and is there for you, and truth shows you all you need to see. It does, and because you're being true to you. If you're not being true to you, truth can't come and show you the way. And so it's been so, the good girl, no, it just doesn't fly with us, because it just doesn't serve you. in freeing you to be you.
Yeah. And I love that because there's so many women out here that I feel like are sitting back and they're just like, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait for her to fill.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to do that? Like, why can you not get your mind right and realize that by, connecting with these women and coming together and building something with them is going to be bigger and beautiful more than what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I still sit back and I'm like, why? Why can you guys not be on the same page as these women or us women, right? Because I feel like we all suffer from like an imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I know I did for years, but it was just like something when I hit 40, it's like, I don't give a fuck now, right? It's just like, I'm doing me and I don't care who says what. And I feel like when you tell yourself that, it's just like the door's just open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you see people and they show their true colors of who they are. If they don't want you to be in their little clique, or they don't want to, it's not that they don't want to, it's they're nice to your face, and then as soon as they leave you, they're talking about you behind your back, right? And it's like, why? Like, what is wrong with you inside?
Or they block you on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you just shine too bright. You shine too bright for their dim,
Mm-hmm.
because and there's a lot of wounding in women lineage, heritage, and our ancestors. I mean, you just think about it, everything that women had, but also that's how the powers that be like it, that because when women unite, that's powerful.
Yes.
So the powers that be do not want that. So they keep reinforcing that. Ooh, look at her. Ooh, da, da, da. It's like little whispers coming from wounding. And it's ancestor wounding and wounding of the feminine towards the feminine. But once we get past that, and once, like even with Olga and me being friends, it really threatens some people. And because they know that that's breaking the spell of the wounding of the feminine. When sisters really come together to truly want to help the other sister be better, how are you going to be better and better and better and be happy? Feel so happy because you realize you're me and I'm you. But that's all through life. Like, hey, sister in the store, hey, you're me, I'm you. So however you treat me is how I'm treating myself. But there's some that are not treating you well that need to go. I mean, they need to go. And they need to know they need to go. So, but it's all, but we can have compassion for our own wounding as women, but then there's a time when you bring out your warrior woman, and the compassion turns into the power. Your compassion turns into your true power of who you are and what we are as women. I mean, we're life givers, and we create. We have the womb, the space of the womb, whether we have children or not. This is holy ground.
Yes, it is.
And so as mothers and sisters and daughters, and there's a life without women is
There's no life.
I always say it's like, if you want, like, for the mind to understand women, it's like a world of marshmallows.
Yes.
And men, the masculine, whom we love and adore and appreciate, it's all energy. It's like rocks. It's like the city of rocks over here, and they just sit and they're there and they're strong and they're beautiful. But the marshmallows, the women over here, we're making chocolate fountains with our marshmallows. We're having it's all sweet and fun and wonderful. And the rocks, we bring sweetness and softness.
We're just sitting back there watching.
Yeah, and we bring that life, and that, when we're in our true essence, we bring life to the living. It's just our power. It's our gift. It really is our gift. Is our softness, our femininity, our feminine, but yet being so strong on the inside.
Yeah.
And don't, like we said before, don't mess with us.
Yes.
Especially when you have a tribe.
Yes.
of sisters and sisterhood and of women.
Yeah.
So
it's just great that you guys are making that connection, and you guys are gonna do the podcast, and I mean, I can't wait to listen to it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I want you guys to go in January 2025.
Yes.
That needs to be your goal.
Yes.
We're gonna do the podcast.
And we're open to life, and when you say yes, life always says yes.
Yep.
So when you respond yes, then we'll see. But our intention is really very beautiful for what we choose to share and do in our path. And
do you know what it's going to be wrapped around? Or is it just going to be empowering women?
Empowering women, but it will unveil itself. Olga's in the beauty business. I love beauty, and I love, she has her own makeup line, and that was a dream of hers. I love shine, sparkle, obviously. Oh yes, but that wasn't really planned, but I'm glad
She's like, I got it all, Valerie, look at me.
But this is my, we all have our inner little girl inside, and this is my inner little girl, and this is her life. So I love for her to express herself any way she chooses. And I encourage that. So it's finding the little girl inside of all of us. And we all remember her.
Yes.
And becoming your own mother. And sometimes people don't understand that. But really appreciate your mother and love her. But really learning how to mother and father your own self. To really nurture yourself and be kind to yourself. And say beautiful things to yourself. And protecting yourself, and just really turning, because we're all looking out here, ooh, this, that, and really looking inwards.
Yeah.
And then society wants to tell you, oh, that's being selfish. That's being so self-centered. You better be. I mean, you better be, because out here, it's like you're fighting ghosts. You're just grabbing ghosts. You're grabbing. And internally, it all begins within.
Yep.
The kingdom of heaven is within, not out there. So it's really interesting. And so just bringing awareness. I feel like bringing awareness is where it is, because we all know, we all remember, we all know. Some of us just don't remember, but it's just like, wake up from this spell. I call it a spell. So to be the spell breaker of, and it's actually the negative mind.
Yep, that's exactly
the negativity and the negative mind that we can see it. And it's all energy. Everything's energy. So just really when you shine the light on that negative mind, within first, really shining, what are your thoughts? What are you saying to yourself? How are you feeling? How are you speaking to your inner child, to yourself? Just being aware of that first, and then,
And I feel like a lot of these catty women, they grew up like that.
Yes.
So, of course it all starts at home. And it's just like, I feel like when you get out on your own, you always want to do better and be better than what your parents were, is what I feel like. So it's just like, okay, even if they told you, we don't do that because society doesn't do that. Like, society, you're supposed to be like this, you're supposed to dress like this, you're supposed to talk and say this, right? But why? Why are you trying to be like everyone else?
Well, I would say, says who? I mean, who says that? I don't. It's that it's unfortunate, really, that we're not shown. And again, it's because of wounding and because women have not felt safe.
Yes.
Put it out. So in my book, I talk about, because when I was a little girl, you attract a lot of things because you're shiny, you love shiny, so you attract. So uh, my parents were very, very strict, so I looked at it as a punishment. But on the same coin, on the other side, it was a protection.
Yeah.
Because I could have attracted, oh my gosh, and I know my dad in his heart saw saw this, and because it was just there, and he didn't, and just like my parents said, they didn't know what to do. What do we do with this shiny thing? What do we do with her? That has no fear. That just she's here, ready to live life.
Was your brothers older than you?
No, I'm the oldest. Well, I have one brother who's older than me.
Okay.
He was raised in Chicago, and but my other brothers and I were raised together in Kentucky, and they're all sport. Like I said, they're all involved in golf and sports, and that's another thing. There's energy. Everything, our earth is spinning on energy of the lights. If you don't have a positive charge and a negative charge, you are not going to have energy.
That's right.
And so we have masculine energy and feminine energy, obviously, and it's not about gender. You can meet men who have more feminine energy and women the same. But when you have a woman who is wounded, she puts on a shell, or an armor that is actually masculine. And the masculine has possessed her feminine, and to keep her safe, to do this. But when you find women competing against each other, when you find these catty women and not happy for them, they're totally in their masculine shell.
Yes.
And because the true feminine doesn't compete. She doesn't have to. What is she competing for? I mean, she's all that is or ever was or will be. She knows who she is. She doesn't have to compete. And she knows, and she's all about abundance. That is nature. The nature is very feminine, and she's all about abundance. Let's grow it more over here. Let's do over there. There's enough for everyone. Let's share.
There's more than enough.
Yes, let's play. Let's dance. And the masculine is very logical, and honestly, how we're made. The masculine is very logical, very straightforward, and it has its place. And the feminine is very circular, and it's very this energy, and it's very let's play over here and do this. And if you want to get scientific about it, it's the right brain and the left brain. And it's not about choosing one or the other. They all have their purpose. It's about them coming together. And but as women, our essence is that.
Yes.
And when our internal masculine is helping us be even more of that, instead of putting the shell on us, becoming the ooh, look at that, or just wanting to compete or put down. That's all the game of war, which is a very masculine game. So it's just all it's all awareness. So,
and I love that. I feel like in the past couple of years, like, women has really brought self-care to a new level.
Yes.
And I love that, because I always, not always, but sometimes I get on the group and I'm like, it's so important for you ladies to get out here and fill your own cups up. Yeah, you're a mom, you're a sister, you're a wife, partner, you're running these businesses, you're out here, doing this and doing that. But you can't run on empty, honey. Like, you have to keep your tank full. So you have to get out here and you have to take these days for yourself, and you have to do what you love, because whatever you love and you do more of that, you're going to fill your cup up, and then you pour into other people's cup, and then it's a ripple effect. And sometimes I feel like when I'm at networking events and stuff, and I don't know how many networking events you've been to, but when you walk into a room full of ladies, and you see them in their little groups talking, mingling, and then you'll always have a few that are just like, and I'm like, she really needs to fill her cup up right now. That's what she needs.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm always that type that if you feel like somebody's talking to you, you go over there and introduce yourself.
Yes.
Because the look on their face, because I'm like, honey, I'm not here to compete with you. I'm competing with myself. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. I give two shits what you're doing over here in your lane. Like, I have this lane going on.
Yes.
And I was like, why can't everyone just be like that, right?
I feel so happy you brought that up. One of my dearest, we've been friends for years and years and years. Dearest friend from Pikeville is Jamie Potter. And he calls me after midnight. We call it witching hour. Like, he'll call me after midnight. And Jamie is just such a, he is just such a beautiful soul. And he's always very truthful with me, which I love.
Yes.
And he always has my back and very supportive. And sometimes tells me things maybe I don't want to hear, but that's what I love about him, because he is so, but there have been times, and it could be hurtful, you know, when you are in your truth and wearing it, and then how many times I've either walked in somewhere and the girls will turn around and go, and Jamie has taught me, go right over to them and say, excuse me, may I help you? I have done that so many times, and they just crumble.
They do.
The other, about a month ago, I was standing in line in a store, and you know, you just are what you are. You have what you have on, and then you have on the other side so many people just really stopping you, saying the most beautiful things and complimenting, and but you're just you for you.
Yes.
But anyway, and these girls, and I could feel it, and I thought, they were ladies, and I thought, and I could hear the one say, oh my gosh, look at her. And I turned around and I said, pardon me, what are you looking at? Why do you want her to look at me? You know, I mean, and that was because
and
Jamie, her face, she said, I didn't say that. I said, oh, well, pardon me. I heard you say that, but pardon me. But she did say it. And, but to call it out, and see, the good girl would never call that out. The good girl would just, and it would kind of bring her down.
Yep.
And that's what that energy, and you're actually facing energy, and it's your own energy that you're facing, and you're depleting it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you, and I'm so glad that you did bring that up, but Jamie taught me that, and that's what friends are for, teach you how to navigate to your best and highest good. It's amazing how it works, or just to walk over to them.
Yeah.
You know, just your presence.
It's just like, they're like, what is she doing?
Yeah, oh my gosh, and then it just, pling, it just goes. But they need that, you know, because no one wants to feel not accepted, I guess. And that goes back to our, you know, in our brain, is you're going to be kicked out of the tribe because you don't fit, and then death. I mean, that's all, it's just all in us. But when you, it's there to teach you fear, and fear yourself, and when you really just deplete it, it's such a beautiful practice.
Yes.
And then it kind of goes away, because it's lost its power. It has, well, she's no fun. I mean, these energies, it's like, what fun is that? You know, she's on to us, or she just bust her bubble, or. And there's also about self-confidence.
Yes.
That is like the powers that be. Take away the self-confidence. Don't let them know their power.
Girl,
Yeah.
I feel like every mother should teach their daughter, like, I don't care. Beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, colors. Like, it does. And I'm like, why are you mothers trying to, and I'm not saying, like, I have to back this up, because I feel like some of these women are letting their early teenagers dress inappropriate, I feel like. And I'm not saying that because they're wanting to show off. I'm saying that because of today's society and the things that are going on in this world, and these girls aren't looking at it as, these older men are out here looking at me. So I feel like, you know, these moms really need to build these girls' confidence up, because that's going to help them when they get older, to have that attitude as I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I'm going to be me, and this is who I am, and no one's going to change it, and this is who I am, and I'm going to own it.
And to know how to protect yourself, because that is when the true masculine energy within a woman is really working for her. And for the masculine, everything is about her. And if you meet a masculine man or masculine and they don't want it to be about you, they're not in their true masculine energy, because a true masculine man knows who he is.
Yes.
He wants his woman to shine, and he is there, I'm going to make you shine. He is not there to compete with her.
Yes.
He is not there to, at all. I mean, and if you are with a man who is not making it about you, they are truly not in their true masculine. I mean, there is something about that alpha male masculine that every woman in her truth is yearning for.
Yes.
And wolves have taught me so much. If you really study the nature of a wolf and the masculine, the alpha wolf and the omega wolf, the alpha wolf always chooses an alpha female, but she becomes omega when she's with him.
Yeah.
She doesn't try and alpha her man, because even though she's alpha, she knows who she is. She gives him that respect, and there's no competition. But why he chooses an alpha female, because when he goes to hunt, he wants to make sure that his tribe is in good hands with her, and they mate for life. He builds her up. He takes care of her. He fights for her. He would kill for her. And wolves will never ever bow to anything that is not truth. They will die before they are not true to themselves. And there is something so powerful about that. I mean, how many people here are doing things that are not truly true to what they want to do or true to themselves? And
I would say 75% of the people in this world.
Yeah. And back to your what you were talking about, like how it's a different time, different. Our energies, the masculine and feminine energies, are so not in alignment, which is the whole purpose that the powers that be, if we are, because when we are in our true essence, and again, it's not gender, but when you truly own the true essence, or the giver, the receiver, and the dance of the two, but it's so not aware of itself or something in the world, that you see what happens, and then it becomes not safe. Then because the masculine is not there, your own internal masculine can't. I mean, it's doing its best to protect. Then there is the energy of pain and of hurt and of negativity, and it feeds off that, and it wants more of that, and it feeds. So it creates situations like that. But you just. So you say, what do? You just shine the light of consciousness on it. You shine the light of truth. Oh, I see what's going on here. But it's up to us to do the work. I always say you can point the way, like for people to understand the mind, how the mind works with the reptilian brain, the mammal brain, and the neocortex, and all the other parts of the brain, and then the right brain, the left brain, to bring science to it. But then the masculine and feminine energies, how they dance. And you can Google it. I mean, you can. I mean, there's so many books about it. And also about our feminine essence, to feel comfortable in our own sensuality. Women are very sensual beings, obviously, with our hair and with our touch and with who we are, and that we create a safe place, and as other sisters, to support each other in our sensuality. And someone who has helped me so much and who I just love is Mama Gina. She's written many, many books, and she is all about standing in your feminine essence. Like every morning I love to get up and just put the music on that feels good to and just be in your body, be in your feelings. light a candle, be the best lover to yourself. You know, how would your greatest lover that you could ever imagine treat you? Will you treat you that way? Be your best lover, be your best friend, be your best of everything. And then it shows up out here. And then there's just something different. But all the ones that are shut down to that, or the good girls, let's say, over here are seeing someone living their truth and being, you know, I have a pole upstairs, you know, the stripper pole, and that has really just offended so many women around here, but it's also empowered some because they've come out to say, hey, I would love to do that. So good, yay. But it's great exercise, and then you do, and you feel so sexy.
Yes.
I mean, there's something about feeling sexy, whatever feels sexy to you is different for me.
Yeah.
And whatever's different, but it all has the same, it comes from the same source.
Yep.
And it's essential in the world. It's necessary.
Yes, it is.
So seduction and being seduced is all about pleasure.
Yes.
So we're missing the pleasure mind, and that is just bringing this up. When you have those women that are over there to a woman who is in tune with her pleasure, they're just showing you how disconnected they are from their own pleasure, from their own sensuality, from their own true feminine essence and core. So that's what they're showing you. So I, salute and wink, or, it's just, and this is what I love to say, it's my mantra, because of you and because of these groups of women that I have met, and really the worst since I've moved to here that I have ever experienced in my life, from different sources, one in particular, and then it stems from that. Just because of them, I'm gooier. I'm more honey. I'm more fragrant.
I'm gonna do it times 10 now, and I'm gonna take pictures and videos and send it to you.
And you'll see it. And to this little group that watches all of my Facebook posts and all that, thank you, because you make me shine so much. You're showing me my power. Exactly. And Olga has said to me, they're actually your true fans.
They are.
They're actually your true fans. So I just, hey, and then move on. But it has been really so when we speak of this, I've lived it, you've lived it. The women, we all have our story, our movie of our life, and but it's what we do with it.
Yes.
And when we know the name of the game and the players and who we're playing with and all that, and when you really become aware of the negative mind, the positive mind, the masculine, the feminine, the powers that be, energies that want to feed off you, or it's like eat or be eaten in this world of energies. But when you really see it and understand and become aware of yourself, it's a lot easier and it's more pleasurable to play the game.
Yes.
And
And I also feel like, do you feel like some of these cattier women, like, they have to have this masculine side? They have to bring their masculine side out? That's what I feel like now, since we've actually had this conversation. I've never looked at it that way. But I feel like that's why they're cattier, because they're having to be masculine because they don't have that masculinity at home. They don't have that alpha male. So they're having to do them and the male part, and they're like going out here like, ugh. And they're jealous because they can't just put on the dress or put on whatever and just go be their genuine self.
And some of them have dresses on, and some of they're men. The energy is masculine dressed as a woman. But if you really see it, and you can see it in posture.
Yes.
You see this. That's very cold. It's masculine. This is very masculine. This is very masculine, and you just see it. No judgment, because the masculine loves to judge. The feminine doesn't judge. It just sees what is, and just there it is. Okay. And she turns it into chocolate milk or something wonderful or a new car. She just sees it for what it is. And rebirths that into something better. But the masculine, so when I say, and catty, because, you know, I love cats and I am a cat, and I just, you know, cats are very feminine energy, dogs are masculine energy. Letters, you can see letters like L, you know, anything that's straight, that's a masculine letter. And then you have the O or the, you know, that's and then you see it, in architect, then you see it in life, and then you see black matter, white matter that's making the earth, they all work together. But so when I see women that we are speaking of who are jealous, who are speaking behind your back, who are trying to put your light out, make fun of you, tell lies on you, tell people on you. Like I had this man come to my house and say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't work for you because so-and-so said you're this, or so-and-so said you're going to put a spell on me, or so-and-so. And I'll just, and then they tell me who it is and where it's coming from. And I say, oh, just because of you, just because of this, you just watch what I do. You watch what I do. So then they become like your food, you know? And there's no threat there, and there's no, but I remember seeing the show one time where this girl, she was kind of a misfit. She didn't really fit into the high school, but she was intelligent. She kind of kept her head down. She made her own dress. She made her own little, she picked out her own little outfit for this dance. She was so happy with her expression of herself. And when she walked down the street, she walked in, all those girls made fun of her, they laughed at her, they bullied her, all because, and she was so yay for herself, and you could just see the life go right out of her. Instead,
they put her light out.
Instead of her standing and bringing out her animal in and just devouring them, and so she just shines greater. Do you see? Like you and I don't even remember what that movie is, but it always left an impression on me because there she was, and she truly had the power. See, she truly did, and that's what they were threatened of, and so it's like, put it out. But it was up to her to find her power and her creativity, and that's the feminine is very creative, creative. It's put it out,
add some gasoline.
Add some gas. And you shine and you grow. And like I said here at the party to one of the girls, if you want a horn on your head from here to China, we're going to make it the best horn ever. We're going to add sparkles. And what else do you want? We'll go find it. We'll go get it. We don't understand it. It's not for me, but hey, you want that? We're going to, and like that young girl, you know, let's add some more of whatever you like here. And you walk in and you shine. So it's even like in the store, and I've had this happen. I'll wear something or do something and walk in and, you know, oh my gosh. And then there was one girl there, and she said, you know, you don't know me and I don't know you, but you own who you are, and you don't give a flying whomever what people think. And she said, I love that because that allows me to feel that and be that. So you actually, when you're true to yourself, then truth gets on. It's contagious. And so.
And I think that's good, because when you have women that are like that, you are empowering other women. Honey, come with me. Come with me. Come on, I will help you. I will show you the way. Just come. And I was like, I love that. That's why I'm so happy that you're on this podcast.
Thank you so much.
Saying this, because I want these women to know that, you know, you don't have to be catty. You just don't.
No, you don't have to live with that shell, because that is not a life of pleasure and beauty. You're in a shell. It's not freedom. And the true masculine loves the feminine to be free and to feel safe and beautiful in her dance and in her freedom and in her however she chooses to express herself. So there's just a lot, and again, it's awareness. It's very, when you really get to it, it's so elementary.
It
really is. And just this week, I'm 58 years old. I have studied so many things. My book, spirituality. I used to call it the Mino Mama inside, and it still is like you have that Mino Mommy, like the stepmother. All the fairy tales are full of this. If you really watch the fairy tales, it's exactly what's going on in our psyche. You have the true mother that loves you and adores you. Then you have that Mino, I'm a stepmom. I don't even like to say that word, but it's true. You have the stepmother who is so not loving in this, and then you have this, and then the Snow White, which is the true feminine essence that's so innocent and pure and powerful. Put it out, or we want to take it. It's in every fairy tale. Snow White and the Huntsman is a movie that I love. It's all about that, exactly what we're speaking of, and it will all come to everyone. But I've known this, and I call it this mind, the beauty mind, and just literally last week, it shown to me the negative mind versus the positive mind. I mean, it's that elementary. Oh my gosh, this is the negative mind. This is the negativity and the negative mind. And this is the positive, the nurturing, loving, beautiful, pleasurable mind over here at work. And then when you can really see it and it's that elementary, that's when you really play the game to win. You are the game. I mean, literally last week. Wow.
You're like, checkmate.
Yes, it is. And then you receive the gift.
Yeah.
There's the gift, because it is checkmate. And life is a game of chess.
It really is. You
have the masculine, feminine. There she is. The queen, she's there, knowing who she is, and the king, and all the masculine who's fighting for her.
Yep.
And she's there. She already knows who she is, and they're all doing it for her.
Yes. Is that right?
I mean, it is, yeah. Checkmate.
She's like, I'm going to use that now.
Yes, checkmate. I love that. We all, it's our birthright to create our own destiny and to live the life of our dreams, to be the best that we possibly could be. But in our DNA and through ancestors, there's so much in our DNA that doesn't belong to you. It doesn't necessarily belong to me, but it's there. It could have belonged to your great grandmother, grandfather way back when. You don't even know, but you're carrying their pain. So when you become aware, and I'm a theta practitioner, with the mind, you have all your brain waves, but when you really get into theta and change the programming, that doesn't belong to you. And then because we're all living our unconscious life, or our unconscious mind. And then they say, well, how do you know what's in your unconscious mind? And I love Bruce Lipton. He taught me this. You're living it. That's what's in your unconscious mind. It's your life that has come on the movie screen. Your unconscious that has come and presented itself right here, and you have the power to change it.
Yes.
But yeah.
So if you had to give one piece of advice for a catty woman to not be catty, what would it be?
Well, first of all, look in the mirror. I mean, that's the one thing. Look in the mirror instead of, because you're actually looking at a mirror when you look at another woman. Because every life reflects back to you. Life reflects back to you, your mind. So when the catty women look at you and go, and they're actually looking at themselves, the parts of themselves they have not acknowledged, owned, have not embraced, who they're scared of. And I call it the dark feminine energy. I've always had the dark feminine energy, and I love her. And if, people, you choose to Google it or study more about it, the dark feminine energy. The good girl doesn't live in the dark feminine. That is like the bad girl, the one that breaks out of the the mental ward, or breaks out of the prison, or come on, let's go, breaks out of the matrix, breaks out of the lie, breaks out of the negativity, is that dark feminine energy. And she's beautiful, and that scares so many of the ones who have not acknowledged their own, but yet yearn to acknowledge that. So I would first say, look in the mirror. And then the other thing I would say is thank you, because the predator and the prey. Yeah. And that's just how it is. Yep. And you are not the prey, especially women are not the prey of these predators. No. So you learn how to become the predator for love, for yourself, for I'll eat you for breakfast, for love, for her, for her. And you let them know by a look, by going over, by, they already know. Because they want that energy to totally deflate you and to totally make you feel less than, no. So you thank them, because of you, I'm gonna shine a gazillion times brighter just because of you. And it just turns everything around, and then everything becomes your gift. Everything becomes your nourishment. It becomes your platform. You know, it rise, as we said in at the party. Rise, sister, rise. Yes. It helps you rise just because of them. Yes. So, but they, So, and take it as a compliment. Yes. Really. If you are, you walk in and there's these groups, and they are, you can feel it and hear it. And if they're taking your light out, or they're wanting you to feel less, take that as such a compliment. Thank you. And I always say that's my magic wand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. And what are they going to do with that? Nothing. I mean, you can't, what are you going to do with thank you? I mean, that's so powerful. And how elementary is that? Thank you. You know? So it's very childlike. It's very innocent and playful. Thank you. So. I
love it. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much, truly, for the opportunity. It is my passion, especially for women, to live their truth. It is our birthright, like I said, to just have a joyful, beautiful life. And that is our birthright. And so just to do it. Yes. And you know, there's tools and to break away from the fear and all of everything that's gotten tainted in our world. But it does happen, and it begins with you. And when it does happen, the other energies feel it. Yes. It feels it, like it is a breakthrough of, and then when it's a woman, oh my gosh. It is really, and then when it's women helping women, and then
I feel like it's just a magical moment.
It is.
And
it is. Wow. It is. It's an earthquake. You just feel it. It's so powerful.
And you're like, if you're not like on the same wavelength as them, you're like, I feel like you would want to say, let me have some of that energy. Yes. Pull me in.
Yes. And the thing I love to say, and I say this to the catty women or whomever, is, and we spoke with this earlier, and if you read my book, A Trail of Feathers, you'll understand this more, because there's been a lot of death in my story. But when you can look that in the face, look those women in the face, look death in the face, look at life, and say, you can't have my joy. She is all mine. She is all mine, and you cannot have her. And do not allow anything to take your joy. Anything. Yes. Not death, not a man, not a woman, not a parent, not a best friend, not a lover. Nothing can take. Joy is ours.
It is.
It's ours. It belongs to us. And you can't have her. And that's my mantra You can't have her. She's all mine.
Other women, well, I won't say other, I will say a lot of women need to hear that.
Yes, well, good.
Especially, I feel like in relationships nowadays.
Yes.
Because these men are trying to take their light from them, and it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And not to give your power away, especially to a man, and I love men,
Yes.
but you're not serving them. And remembering men are wounded little boys as well until they become the man, but the woman rebirths that. I mean, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
But if you're giving your power away and you're not standing in, then they can never really truly be birthed into the man that they are meant to be.
Yeah.
But when you give your power away, then you have no power.
No.
And they're not worthy of that. No one is worthy of your power.
Nope.
That's yours.
Yes. It's yours.
That's
yours, ladies. Your power.
Your power.
Thank you again, my dear.
Thank you so much, truly. Thank you.
Until next time, guys, I will see you then.